Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Grillback is here, and tonight we're doing monthly challenges TLDR guide, February 2026. So if you're new here, I usually do monthly challenges guides every month. I do complete one and I do a TLDR one. So I myself play challenges 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, and only free-to-play epic relics. So my guides are usually oriented towards people that are at 2 stars and 3 stars. I give tips, whom to level. At least we will discuss whom to level in this guide. That's what usually happens in TLDR guide. And during full guide we will discuss pretty much almost every special rule and like your win conditions, stuff like that. So this is a list of what we will discuss in a full guide, special rules. In this short one, we will discuss champion recommendations of whom to level, which is usually the case with the current flow of resources, because oftentimes people just have a champion at 2 stars, 3 stars, but the champion is not leveled. And like a rule of thumb is to have a champion level 20 and at 2 stars. We will also discuss the very first line, this one. These are challenges that can be harder than usual, and they also might be unexpectedly harder than usual. This is the list of champions that we usually discuss in a full guide too, so maybe we will discuss Zed, but maybe we will discuss Katarina too, because we have faced 6 Zeds and 6 Katarinas this month. But other than that, well, we will see. So, let's start with general recommendations for monthly guide, for monthlies. Usually you want to be at 2 stars due to 2 extra mana. Of course, you would rather be at 3 stars. It's really low amount of fragments. Right now it should be considered as a very low amount of fragments. And you want to be around at least level 20. Sometimes you might be okay with just level 13. This is another common relic slot. Level 20 Droid Champion is a much better upgrade overall. It just guarantees you one of your win conditions early on. Next step, next milestone of leveling a champion should be level 25, just a 3rd relic slot. And usually you want something like Spell Shield in your 3rd slot or Chameleon's Necklace. Create 2 copies of me in your deck. This makes a lot of difference. Besides that, some champions are balanced around their 3-star upgrade, and also some champions really rely on a full combination of rare relics. As per se, Gwen. She's much better and much stronger at 3 stars than she is at 2 stars. Kale is just not really a great champion at 2 stars, she's really weak, and at 3 stars she's just different, it's day and night difference. Gwen really wants rare relic in her 3rd slot. Her 4-star upgrade is Mass Overwhelm, Crush. And if you do not have that, you need to invest entire relic slot. And if you do not have that Overwhelm, then oh boy, you are just relying on your Snip ability, so you need Luden's Tempest. And yeah, some champions really want level 30, some are okay at level 20 or 25. Level 25 is usually recommended against Ionia due to recalls that Zed have, Karma might have, and stuff like that. Lee Sin, Yasuo. And level 25 Spell Shield is good into Shadow Isles because of kill spells like Vengeance and Dawning Shadow. Level 27 isn't usually meaningful on most of the champions. It might be actually a game design. It's just usually not that great. Level 28 plus 5 Nexus health might make difference. So you might actually feel more comfortable at 40 instead of 35. I personally these days feel myself confident at 44. So I feel like I can complete almost any adventure at 44 health, as per se Baron Nashor on 2 stars Azure. Yeah, and level 30 if you really need that. Now let's talk about this month. Whom to level, and like this list is list of champions that I really wanna I have already made a list of all champion recommendations for all 70 challenges, and this is kind of the list of champions that I do recommend a lot. Some of them are kind of special this month, some of them are not special at all, so let's dive into this list. Aurelion Sol, Jinx, Swain, and if you managed to catch Speed Blossom event, Speed Blossom Ari, these 4 champions can just complete anything. They are wild cards, and just generally speaking, I do not name them almost any time. Jinx might not want to do Undying Rage special rule, but if you have mana flow upgrade into +2 damage into Popo has +2 damage, or if you happen to have like big guns, Luden Stampers, something like that in the build, then you might also just complete that one too. Aurelion Sol, easiest win, free win. Swain is A+, A- at 3 stars, and he really can complete anything if you invest just a bit more into I think Star of Discovery, into Radiant Party, into every new spell you find in Adventure has Pyromantic Wake. At this power level, level of investment at 4 stars and Pyromantic Wake, he can complete any adventure in the game. I personally haven't lost single one, and I'm doing free-to-play budget build that I do recommend, and I have videos on that. And of course, Pre-Blossom Ari, you can play Strength of Stone Formidable build with +0/+3 rune. You can play Crown Guard Inheritance, Spectral Scissors, and Hollowed. If you feel like that, it works too. I have completed at 3 stars Viego, Lissandra, maybe Swain, I have videos on that. And Jarvan, and maybe Spirit Blossom team are 6.5 stars using Hollowed and Crown Guard Inheritance. If I recall correctly, I don't really remember. So, let's talk about this month special and whom would I recommend to level. Mel. We have a lot of fan favorite, we have a lot of Demacian Might, we have a lot of Noxian Might, so Mel can just complete about every 3rd, every 4th challenge easily. And if you haven't leveled Mel, she is great. She is strong at 2 stars, she is great at 3 stars, you do not really need 4 stars. She's good with just a free-to-play setup, with a rare setup actually. So she's incredible, she can complete event adventures. She's kind of versatile. Her win condition is within the champion herself. Your spells have overwhelm, so she is great, and it is just the best time to level Mel right now. Yeah, so you need Tempest Blade, and you can use full build or chosen by the stars Epic Relic, and he can complete anything too. You just want Chameleon Necklace or Spell Shield in your 3rd relic slot to guarantee that Yasuo will not be overpowered easily, and yeah, this guy completes any content at 3 stars. He is great. Evelyn. She scales much better than Yasuo, but she also is a bit harder to play. You need to count to 6. You wanna level up Evelyn at least twice throughout the game. You also want to use Tempest Blade. If you do not know what is a Tempest Blade, let me show you. By the way, Legends of Runeterra Wiki is a great place, great site, so you can always check it out if you do not know how to get certain relic. So your Tempest Blade, when I level up, stun all enemies. It does wonders. And if you do not have Eking Spirit, the best free-to-play epic relic in the game, you can just use this setup. Or maybe Chameleon's Necklace, once again, because you really want to guarantee that you have Evelyn in your hand. And this, once again, makes difference. Next, Fiddlesticks. He has his unique win condition. He works greatly at 3 stars, his 4 star is disarmed, so enemies who are already weak at rushing us, so Lolo, Yasuo, Fizz, Misfortune, Jinx, they all kinda will be even worse. They go white, they have not really that much power in their units, unless they high roll something like Power Overwhelming, Demacian Might, Noxian Might, stuff like that. So if enemy goes white, if enemy is playing Irelia, he's good into that. And also you can just play Fiddlesticks defensively. You can wait, you will survive 3 enemy attacks and you're almost guaranteed to win after that. You can use almost any build, almost any epic relic, and almost rare relic setup. You can use, if you want, Tempest Blade. I would rather get Guardian Angel. You can use Stalker's Blade. You can use Turret Plating for -1 damage on your Nexus, which really helps against, say, Ezreal. You can use another Guardian Angel if you want. You can use Chemtech Duplicator and survive until you just get to play Fiddlesticks for free, right? He gets out as a nightmare, then you play your signature spell at bare speed. With Duplicator it will be just give enemies -a lot, terrify 4. That works. And he's really good if you wanna like ignore certain special rules or conditions. So he doesn't really care about Big Feast, that enemy has extra health. You're milling enemy, you just do not care that much. Next recommendation is Aatrox. Aatrox is one of the strongest champions at certain level of investment. So at 3 stars, he is a great Runeterran champion. He's not really like that spicy. You cannot just bomb one shot. No, he's not like that. You need to play around board control, but you will also get a lot of discounts, and I personally really enjoy that kind of playstyle, that you can get a lot of cost reduction. He doesn't really scale that great. Well, just because we're spoiled with constellations, but he's still strong. And then after 3 stars you can upgrade him to Arm to the Teeth, and at that level of investment, at just 160 fragments, he is one of the best champions in the game. So you have 1 drop, 2/4 creature out. You give it Darkin equipment with Phage, another +2/+2, and you have Arm to the Teeth, that's another +2/+2. So your creature is just now enormous, and enemy cannot do anything about that. Like, if that's not an Aurelian Soul, you basically stabilized round 1. So yeah, a lot of issues are solved by this high amount of raw stats. And speaking of that speaking of that power level, Aatrox might not be the best into Baron Nashor, into if you need to scale to infinite, right? But he's really just insanely good, strong in monthly challenges. So I highly recommend him in this month and just as a place in your collection. Then we have Shyvana in the list. Shyvana is pretty much strongest 3-star champion in the game, one of them. Technically, strongest 3-star champions in the game right now are Yasuo, I would say, LeBlanc, and kind of Morgana. And Shyvana is extremely strong too. She needs to high roll a couple of dragons throughout adventure. So basically you need to get to one shop and that's it. That's about it. That's all you need. Let me actually show you her constellation so we can make it clear. So her constellation is 1-star, 2-star, 3-star. This is 100 fragments invested. And then from this point you go towards the Star of Discovery. Dragon followers you acquire in adventures have Nomad's Medallion. So if you meet a dragon in a shop that is just naturally a 4-cost, it will be a 2-cost dragon. If that dragon was 2-cost, it will be 0 mana cost to play. And if you have extra stats on the dragon, it will just kill enemy and your engine is now going. And another upgrade, your Supra champions have Dragon Tooth. This is another huge upgrade because, well, you draw a champion at game start and now you do not really care. Shyvana is a 4-mana creature that has 3-4 stats. If you do not have equipment for relic for extra stats like +2, +1, that's the way I played here at 3 stars against Vega, Lissandra, and all the other hard adventures. You need +2, +1 relic on her. Without that, you would rather draft a Supra champion with this +1, +1 and Fury, and once again your engine is going. Just you can play 2-mana drop Nora and she will already be destroying enemy board. This doesn't really bring much. This one is really good. 10 Nexus health for region, so we can complete any nightmare at this level of investment too, but just saying that this is insanely strong. So at 3 stars she's alright. She is enjoyable to play. She is really enjoyable to play. At this power level and level of investment she's insanely strong, and this only keeps it up and enables even more stability. And why is Shyvana in the list if she is already strong? Well, it just happened that this month, whenever you wanted to use Shyvana, like, you see this challenge is good for Shyvana. And it just was even better due to several other options and conditions. Last month it wasn't really like that. Next recommendation would be Warwick. Some people really underestimate Warwick. He is a great generalist, he can pretty much complete any challenge, he's really good into monthly challenges. I personally play him at like pretty budget build. I use Plunder -2 mana cost. I prefer Packed Powder, of course, over Rare option because I can, that's a free-to-play option. I would rather complete like hard adventures on my first try rather than stick around playing something undergeared. Completely undergeared, I mean. That's a free-to-play after all. I use Stalker's Blade and full build. So we have Challenger, Quick Attack, Overwhelm, Toughness just because of full build. Well, that's not really necessary. And we kill 2 enemy units when we play Warwick. His 2 stars can counter some certain champions and encounters. He's exceptionally good into mercy killings. If you have Big Guns Epic Relic, he can counter Katarina and like hard counter Katarina, okay? And some other champions too. Yeah, he's just really nice to play and great generalist. He also scales, so you can use him into Power Overwhelming and other scaling special rules. Bessa. This month we have 3 repetitions. Actually, let me just keep it up. We have repetition 3 times and Trick of the Light 3 times. You can play Ambessa into these special rules. You can also play Ambessa into like Savage Mysticism or Guided Meditation. You can play Duplicator on Ambessa, that's absolutely fine. You can play Ambessa into other special rules. She's good into some other special rules. She's really good with free-to-play Epic Relics. So she's just generally strong. She's A+, S- tier pretty much, and at with Epic Relics, she is even more stable and even more explosive. And cherry on top is that she has 1 mana stun unit with prediction. So you can counter Katarina, you can counter Zed, you can counter many aggro decks in monthly challenges, and not just monthly challenges, by playing that 1 mana cost spell. Great. And also you do not need Mass Overwhelm, you do not need Beast Within, because Marauder already has that, and yeah, Marauder is usually her win condition, besides Ambessa herself. And we also have Noxian discount once again this month. Next recommendation would be Vex. She is one of my favorite, not really favorite champions, but one of favorite playstyles. I don't know how to call it. So let's talk about Vex a bit. At 2 stars, Vex is just disgustingly awful champion. Like, you wanna play control, but you cannot. She's really weak. If you have that attack token, boost all enemies. The idea is you gave enemy Gloom previous round during his attack, and that helped you to survive, and then this boost will help you to go through their defenses. But it just doesn't really make difference. This one at 3 stars is now playable. This actually makes her playable, but really not that strong. And then Constellation kicks in and everything is actually a good, great upgrade. This kind of can make difference, but it usually doesn't. You're not playing around that. 10 Nexus Health and 4 Regen is the best upgrade you can get from Star of Bounty. This really helps at any nightmare that you're going, any deadly adventure. Pythos plus 1 damage, and this spell will be at burst speed, plus 4 damage. Great. Once again, unnecessary. Explosive Finale. Great upgrade, one of my favorite rare power in the game. You're playing board control and you're also getting closer to the victory, which is just great. Unnecessary, and this upgrade is what makes a lot of difference. Damaging spells you acquire in adventures have plus 4 damage item. So any support champion, any spell that you find in shop, and if you go to a challenge with 2 fights, you will always see a shop. So if you just roll for a better spell, that damaging spell will have plus 4 damage, and this is done. Like, this makes so much difference. It's just unbelievable. It might be unbelievable. I personally play her with Packed Powder because I have Explosive Finale. I use Cannon Payload to stabilize, and I prefer Echoing Spirit, so I do have a lot of Vex in hand, and her signature spell is Draw 1, which is actually completely fine. So you can just cycle that anytime you want. Against Baron Nashor I used Grand General's Counterplan instead of Packed Powder because of Clear Mind, because we have a lot of extra mana. I didn't use Chemtech Duplicator, that was definitely like best in slot item for that adventure, Chemtech Duplicator, but I really wanted to stabilize as early as possible. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. And what's so special about Popo? So this is a 2 mana deal 3 to a unit. Due to her 2-star upgrade, it will give 3 Gloom to every enemy, and due to her level 2, when enemy gains Gloom, it gains Gloom again, so it is like 2 mana, burst speed, give enemy -6/-6 permanently. Great stuff. Next, Yumi. Yumi is definitely a champion that you want in your collection. Well, in terms of monthly challenges, she is great. She's the best choice into small stuff, legendary small stuff. She can do a lot of other things too. She scales greatly, she's kind of alright into Empire above all. One of the few champions that are good into that. I usually pick Kindred, normal Kindred, for that rule. And Phalanx also makes a lot of difference. So Yumi has great 4-star upgrade. She's just kinda strong, and some people underestimate Yumi. If you have Disciple of Shadows, then if you have free-to-play Epic Relic Disciple of Shadows, then you definitely should consider getting Yumi in your collection. This is pretty much all you need, just this Epic Relic. I cost 1 less for each ally in play, and her 2-star upgrade is Summon at game start 2 Porous. So she will be 1 mana to play round 1, you play any creature, and she will be free to play. You might want to play Spirit of Burrow or like this. I personally used to play in this setup. One thing I should notice is that 2 of your upgrades are behind mana flow, which is why I cannot really get that. I play without mana flow and without 6 stars. So I cannot get that, but of course she will be even stronger with these upgrades. This month we didn't have... We have, I think, just 1 legendary small stuff, but she's good into Empire above all and some other challenges. So I kind of recommend her in quite some challenges. Next we have in the list Viega. He is really good if you have Disciple of Shadows once again. He is kind of strongest Shadow Isles champion and he can complete a lot of stuff. His constellation is extremely... He doesn't need much, let's put it this way. LeBlanc, we have Trick of the Light, we have Repetition, we have Unflinching Strength. LeBlanc is great into a lot of stuff. She's LeBlanc at 3 stars, you know. If you have 1 Stalker's Blade, you are good. If you have 2 Stalker's Blade, she's unbeatable. If you have 1 Stalker's Blade and Guardian Orb, then it will be also fun to play. I personally use 2 Stalker's Blades and Sacred Technique free-to-play Epic Relic, so this way she can complete even more stuff that you would normally not complete. Just because of that buff that gives you 4 health for this round. It makes a lot of difference. Next in the list is Misfortune. She is probably the most enjoyable Bilgewater champion. I'm not speaking about 6 stars, honestly. I do not care about 6 stars because at 6 stars you're expected to win, and probably without any like decision making. So yeah, I'm not doing that kind of content, and I'm not looking at discussing 6 stars because, well, you're expected to win. And with mana flow pretty much too, because that +1 mana is just an enormous upgrade. Misfortune, you have 3 stars. She's alright. Defensively, offensively, you can play Mass Challenger Relic, you can play Spellslinger with Grand General's Counterplan and Archangel Staff. I play Eking Spirit Big Guns and Packed Powder. Plunder -2 mana cost is, of course, one of the best relics that you can find for Misfortune. Mana is everything pretty much. I personally recommend going towards Make It Rain +2 damage. So normally Make It Rain is 3 targets, 1 damage, and with that upgrade in her constellation it will be 3 targets, 3 damage. If you also happen to have big guns for +1 globally, it will be 4 damage and you can even kill Irelia as soon as possible, so you will also counter Irelia. But without that, she is also pretty good, insanely strong. She can do a lot. She's good defensively, offensively, and You're also just killing enemy Nexus while doing this AoE controlling the board. Great stuff. Yeah, usually she's one of my strongest champions. I'm just saying that she will also work into a lot of adventures this month. Next, Volibear. So he's in the list because last month I recommended choosing between Volibear and Anivia, and Tryndamere was kind of good. Months before that, Tryndamere was almost necessary because we had a lot of Price of Progress. This month, Anivia isn't really that much. She's not as good as she was, so Anivia is not really in the list. Volibear is just stable, strong. He kinda gets countered by enemies having a lot of health, but still he has that frostbite at burst speed. You can use Avalanche, Mulligan for Avalanche to control the board round 2. So into monthly challenges, he is just one of the best choices. He has a lot of options, a lot of solutions, a lot of tools. And yeah, his scaling might not be the best into Baron Nashor, but honestly we're just spoiled a bit. You do not need that much scaling into monthly challenges. He's absolutely gorgeous at 3 stars into monthly challenges. One of the upgrades he kind of wants, let me show you this. You might want, oh no, almost a similar this. Valkyr's Prophet, 3 mana cost, has Shadow Totem. So when this guy is summoned, you also summon Sigil of the Storm. So because of this upgrade, you'll be better defensively on 3 mana, and you will also get closer to playing a heavy unit because of this Shadow Totem and another Sigil. Other than that, well, plus 10 Nexus Health plus 4 region will enable you an easy way in deadly adventures, and that's it. Like, you just need 3 stars, this one and this one. This one might not be enough to complete Viega, but just if enemy doesn't have Fearsome, you're good. This is unnecessary. This is unnecessary. Yeah. And also, he's really good without Epic Relics. I mean, this build is completely free to play. Another Stalker's Blade. Well, we can use, like, this. We can use Spell Shield. We can use Disciple of Shadows if we want, it works. Found Fortune, great. Portal Pulse, yeah, people do that. What? Error? We will reconnect you? Yeah, that happens often. When I discuss relics. Locale not found, interesting. Okay, and another recommendation this month will be Victor. It's not like Victor is that much best in slot this month, but I have completed 3 adventures, 3 challenges with Victor. We have Butcher's Block. And also Victor isn't really bad into other challenges, into like Katarina. We have Katarina 6 times this month. He's okay into Z. You're scaling, you're okay into power overwhelming, kind of. You're okay into many other special rules. And Victor has 3 mana burst speed Aftershock, which makes difference. Next line is where you gotta pick 2 out of 3 champions. Kayle, Morgana, and Leona. We have Celestial Guidance, so we have 4 Targonian discounts this month. Kayle is, of course, probably the best Targonian champion, but you really want her to be at 3 stars. And if you have Sacred Technique, she is actually good. She really scales well with Constellation. She has a lot of noticeable upgrades. She's pretty straightforward, easy to play. You're lacking in terms of, like, if enemy goes white, you have just 1 stun and you need to sacrifice stuff, but if you manage to have some time to develop, then Kill is just insanely broken. Morgana, one of the greatest 3-star champions in the game, you do not really need much. You can play extra stats, you can play Duplicator, you can play Grand Genius Contraplan. I have played several different playstyles and everything just works. She's great. She's the only champion with lifesteal baseline. And then Leona, well yeah, I'm a Leona enjoyer. She's a pretty lady. So she's a great one-shot champion. You're surviving, you're stunning enemies, you have Chemtech Duplicator, and then you just stun everyone and you kill enemy in one round. That's her main tool, I guess. So I usually use Leona into Gangplank or other champion that I want to be one-shotted. She's really just... she's kinda straightforward, but not as easy as Nidalee. That's why I do not really play Nidalee, she just wins round 1. That's no skill involved at all. And in the last line we have this Master Yi Tryndamere line. So this month, these champions, I'm not really recommending them that much. I'm not saying that they are weak, okay? This is not some period League of Legends patch notes that these champions got nerfed now. I used to say a lot of good things about these champions in previous month, and Tryndamere was kind of necessary in collection when we had a lot of Price of Progress. And this month we have 1 Price of Progress, 1 Vestige of Helia, so Master Yi can be used 2 times with purpose. Tryndamere, if you do not have Eking Spirit and if you do not have Shop in Challenge, then he's just bad. At 4 stars, he is just like, you still are in a 50-50 position. You might not win, you might win. Of course, if you high roll, that's a Tryndamere round too. If you didn't high roll, then you cannot block enemy during his attack. So that's a really low roll. Can happen. Next, Lilia. I usually use Lilia with nautical something. Forgot the word. So when you have it's a sorcery basically. When you have 3 mana every round start for both you and your enemy. I usually use Lilia into extremely hard stuff, so I usually just wait until like 50, 60 something challenge, trying to walk out my Lilia, and just didn't happen this month. So you can still play Lilia. I can experience Talker's Blade, Guardian Orb, he is her best in slot build. You really want mana flow, it will enable Lilia much faster. You play Lilia, you sleep Lilia, you play another Lilia. Great stuff. She's great into Lulu, she's great into Adorables. She's alright into Katarina, into Zed, much better into Katarina, so you can sleep Katarina so she will not level up. Stuff like that. It's just I didn't really find much purpose in recommending Lilia this month. Luxie, pretty much same. Not really many options to have a lot of strategic advantage using Luxie this month. Nami, kinda same, she was unnecessary this month, but she's really strong. She can complete a lot of stuff, even Deadly Adventures at 3 stars. Kain was a really bright star last month, in January and in February. Right now he is not really that great. So he's alright, but not really that great. We do not have Enguard, we lost only the Strong. He is still good into Aurelia and some other enemies like Jinx, Fizz. He is just not really necessary this month. Vi, sometimes you use her 3 out of 3, but this month I use her 0 times. She has 2 damaging spells, which can counter Katarina once again, but not really much outside of that. And Veigar is in the list just because, yes, we have 6 Katarinas, but we can find other solutions to beating Katarina. And by the way, Garen is not in the list this month because once again there is no only the strong, now Engard, and yeah, last month was different. Once again, speaking of Veigar, usually he is the greatest counter of Katarina, but unnecessary this month. Just saying. Alright, that was about champions and recommendations whom to level. Now let's talk a bit about harder challenges, like this one, this list, this line. Challenge 15 is Katarina and Big Fist. So if you wanted to use Veigar, it will not work out, kind of. Frenzied Fighting, so I highly recommend having Berserker's Buckle. I completed this challenge using my signature Giga Ari. I have videos on Giga Ari, Giga Tima. This is this build. I survive, I get +2/+2. This works great into Frenzied Fighting. Overwhelm, Regeneration. So yeah, that's basically the combo. Ari also strikes twice during her attack. That's how it works. I do have videos on that. Other than this, I might recommend looking forward any because of disintegration, and just just get Berserker's Buckle. That's about it. Yasuo can be alright, Evelyn can be alright, LeBlanc. So yeah, LeBlanc has that +3/+2 spell, and that will counter Frenzied Fighting, but if you have Sacred Technique, you can take even more damage. That's how I complete some like Wildfire, Deadly or something. Warwick is alright here. His on-play effect is strike damaged enemy, so at 4 stars you will just counter Katarina. Yumi, she will be outscaling. You can get full build quick attack into Katarina, it will work. Speed Blossom Ari is good. Atrox, definitely he's good into Frenzied Fighting, he has removal. Morgana, stun Katarina. Lilia can be alright. Kaisa, Ambessa, Dreadway Chase Gun, Animal, yeah, they do work too. Next, challenge 26. Z with Strike the Set. Stun our weakest unit. Yeah, this is definitely scary and unprepared player can lose. Usually only every third challenge is hard, but this one, yeah, 27 is really easy and 26 is kind of hard. It just RNG. So Nasus, no, Nasus. Victor was my personal choice because of Butcher's Block, and of course that, I forgot the name, Aftershock at burst speed is really good into Z, so you're mulliganing for Aftershock if you're playing Victor 2. I have this speedrun on my VOD channel, in case if you're looking for that. I think it will be live like midday UK time on 3rd or 4th of February, so pretty soon. And I would also probably choose Samira. I of course would recommend Misfortune into that, and Volibear or Ashe might be good too. So Ashe will just at 4 stars. Ashe is kind of playable, she will survive the night. She will survive first round, second round, then you will start scaling, and eventually you just will go wide enough, and that will not have enough tempo, I guess, to kill you. You can always frostbite enemy that is about to strike you. So Ashe is alright. And Volibear has frostbite at burst speed. So Volibear is kind of good into that, especially considering that Z has a lot of weak, low health units that are just prone to be killed by Avalanche. Next challenge, 35. Vicious enemy Yasuo with Murder Breach. Last month we had Power Overwhelming Yasuo, and this month we have Murder Breach. It's really hard to guarantee anything strategically when we talk about Holy Abyss. It's just random. If enemy happened to have kindred into another kindred at level 2, she is just getting a lot of value and nothing you can really do about that. Strategically speaking, so I picked Talia because I wanted to play Talia, because I wanted to destroy Holy Abyss as soon as my third round, preferably second round. Cannot really do that without mana flow, sadly, at first round. My build is Plunder -2 cost, Plunder -2 cost, and Found Fortune. So I recommend playing Evelyn, so you're scaling everywhere, and even if your stuff is getting killed, you're still already scaled. Atrox is alright into this. Once again, you have a lot of value mid-game, and this is just enough to go through this Yasuo. Like, he has no scaling outside of this. We're playing usually by killing. Against Yasuo, we play by killing Yasuo himself. This is his main win condition. He has Yona, kind of, and this Holy Abyss might break another random win condition. Just... it can be anything, sadly. Power King is alright, so you can sacrifice stuff and you will be outscaling enemy. Contact Duplicator can work. Viega, he is scaling everywhere, so even if you sacrifice stuff, you will still outscale enemy. Fiddlesticks, when Yasuo attacks, he draws 1, so it just works. You're milling him, he's milling himself, great. Heimerdinger, you have a lot of extra blockers, so he's just like Power King, but a bit more skill dependent. He's a bit harder to play, not as explosive, so yeah. Warwick, of course, still great generalist. You're scaling, you already got the idea, right? You're scaling somehow, not on board, but everywhere. And Ambassa would be my last recommendation for this one. Next challenge, 40. Draven, Yasuo, Vestige of Heli, Demacian Might. So enemy plays against Draven, Draven might get double attack. We really do not want level 2 Draven on board, because he will have double attack and overwhelm, so he will be getting Demacian Might. That's just deadly, pretty much. Against Yasuo, this doesn't really change anything. We're still killing Yasuo as soon as we can, so he's not really scaling on attack. If he's scaling this way, then something's kind of wrong. I have never seen enemy getting a level 2 Yasuo, maybe just once in the last year. I have completed it using Shyvana. She's great into this. We're just outscaling enemy. Great choice. Master Yi is good into Vestige of Heli. Evelyn, you're not really using your Deceiver's Crest, but you're outscaling and you're getting Spell Shield, so nothing can stop you. You're supposed to just outscale enemy and use Evelyn's stun during his attack, so that's kinda a skill issue then. Just make sure you're using Tempest Blade on Evelyn, that's her greatest item. Ambassa is still alright because of Spell Shield and every spell is 1 cheaper. Caitlyn is great into this too. You're not really getting that much of value from your spells, but you can still use Guardian Angel, Stalker's Blade, maybe 2 Guardian Angels or 2 Stalker's Blades. And that's kinda an interesting way to play Caitlyn. Both enemies are drawing extra stuff, so yeah. If your Caitlyn is upgraded, then it's a good choice. If your Caitlyn is not upgraded, then it might be not a good choice. Ekka might be kind of alright into this, same thing. If he is upgraded, then he is good. If he is not upgraded, then he is not as good, because he has a couple of spells that you want to use onto enemies and they will have just 0 value. But every year prediction will be 1 mana cheaper and he just gets bigger and bigger when you predict. Kaisa can be good into this one. She's good into 2 fight adventures, 2 fight challenges. Spell Shield will bring you faster to evolve. So that will work. She just might get a better mid game. And Yumi. So nothing can stop you. You have Challenger Quick Attack combo, and against Yasuo that this should be easy. Against Draven, you wanna do something. Definitely need to use brain against Draven. As playing Yumi if you do not have 4 stars, if you do not have Phalanx. Then challenge 48. Draven, Repetition, Demacian Might. I used any just to show that, well, Draven with Demacian Might sounds scary, but we can still win just by using Dreadway Chase Gun any. If you do not know what that build is, it's this one. You play any, you have plus 3 spell damage, you get 4 warning shots, so that's a 12 damage combo for just 1 mana. Then you sacrifice any into Draven, you play another any, and that's how you win. Other than this, I have Caitlyn as a recommendation. She's great into Draven, nothing can stop us. Mel would be great. LeBlanc, Yasuo, Anivia, because of repetition. Fiddlesticks now will be good. Lux, Nami, and Misfortune. Next challenge 51. Darius with Mana Flow and Vicious Enemy. That happens quite often. Lingering Shadows with Nature's Revenge. That's kind of a synergy. So against Darius we can use Frostbites, we can use Stun Strongest Enemy. I used Viega because of Lingering Shadows. That's like I see Lingering Shadows, I almost always use either Viega or Gwen. By the way, I have a lot of videos on special rules. You just go onto my YouTube page, you type special rule name, and there is a high chance that you will find that video where I do full guide on that special rule and I play one of champions. So against this Viega, Gwen, Yasuo, Evelynn, Volibear because of Frostbites, and Nature's Revenge has Sapling, so you might get extra Sigils of the Storm. Mel kind of can counter, like, you're killing stuff with one spell and Sapling will just die naturally. And Morgana is an interesting choice into this, so you can lifesteal and play this interesting game of he is trying to kill you, you're trying to survive, aha, very fun. 53. This is a rough one. We are lucky that there is no vicious enemy. Caitlyn and Kaisa, with Empire buff all and Big Fist. So never underestimate Kaisa. She is actually a strong champion, and especially if there is extra mana. I use Speed Blossom Ari, I was kinda speedrunning this one, I tried to get everything done in under 4 hours, sadly I couldn't manage that. I still had like 2 or 3 Jinx, yeah, 2 Jinx ranks left. I had Speed Blossom Ari runs left, Speed Blossom Kindred runs left, I had Swain run left, Aurelion Sol run left, I just started using them in the end. But month is pretty much really not that hard. It's just a unique thing that we finally have 60 something challenges being relevant. So in this one I would recommend Vex, if you have listened to my Vex monologue. Shyvana is alright here, Big Feast might screw our scaling early game, but still we can high roll high enough in a shop. That's actually a pretty valid skill. If you really need, you can also use +2 rerolls in your common slot at level 25 to get just 2 extra rerolls in a shop and find a better dragon to get going. Kaisa is great into any challenger that has 2 shop. 2 fights and a shop this way, because you once again can high roll just one little item on a evolve unit that you already have, and that is a deal breaker, or rather this may make difference in a good way. It's just you're hitting evolve round 2 and that's it. Like you are stronger. In this challenge I would also recommend Yumi. She is alright with Empire above all. She doesn't really care that much about Caitlyn traps or Icathian Rain by Kaisa and about Big Fist. So if you have Phalanx at 4 stars, yeah, that's a good choice. Viega can kinda outscale enemies and his miss have Challenger due to his constellation. Yasuo once again, Ekka, Warwick and Mel. I do not want to recommend Evelynn this time because of Caitlyn. And also Caitlyn denied another choice I wanted to say. I don't remember which one. There was something else that I wanted to recommend, but I was like, man, this works against Kaisa, but against Caitlyn, we might get low roll and then I will be just flamed. So yeah, I didn't want to recommend Evelynn because of Husks getting killed by traps, but usually Caitlyn is a weaker enemy, so it's up to you probably. Then, next challenge 57, Katarina, Tam Kench, Noxin Might, Fan Favorite and Shrimba Discount. Vicious enemy Katarina is actually pretty deadly. I use Swain. Yeah, I didn't kid around. Other than Swain, Kaisa, Nidalee, of course that Transmogulator Spectral Scissors one-shot build. You are winning round 1. Veigar is alright against Katarina due to Katarina. And of course Mel, great choice, even though we are not utilizing Shrimba Discount. So Mel should be great, although we are facing Tam Kench. Next change 67. Mortal Marks, Vicious Enemy, Fan Favorite. So these special rules are not really that deadly. Fan Favorite is kind of annoying on Ezreal since he has elusive and he might also get specialed. I don't remember correctly, but he might get specialed. So problem here is Mortal Marks and Ezreal. So yeah, this is a static shock, but you can counter that by using Black Shield, free-to-play Epic Relic to give special to every unit you summon. You can use buffs easily. So Luxie's Barrier, you can use Kale, but all of those things are now getting countered by Lulu. We want to play champions into Lulu, but against Ezreal, like, it's just... it's complicated. You can win easily, you can lose easily. So just generally speaking, from a strategical point of view, I decided that this is too dicey and I need to get a better list of recommended champions. I need to make a point about this challenge. I used Misfortune due to Mortal Marks. I do not have a unit that enemy Ezreal's swap bot want to like swap stats with. I still play Eking Spirit, so I'm not getting countered by Lulu. And other recommended champions would be Caitlyn, kind of, into Mortal Marks. Mel, once again, against everything. And you're playing champion, you're playing Mortal Marks, so everything will just die. Mel works wonders, she's great. Yasuo is alright. You can just use Toughness Epic, you can use full build, you can use Armadillo's Shell at level 25 champion. So this probably will be enough. Yasuo, Mel, Caitlyn, Twisted Fate, Red Card, Spirit Blossom Ari, Crown Guard Inheritance and Hallowed build. I used it against Viega, I used that against Jarvan, probably against Spirit Blossom Teemo, Atakan at 6.5 stars, I used that against Lissandra, Viega, yeah, that's this. That works. You just need full build or toughness, any kind of toughness to survive. You can also use thread plating if you really want to. Unnecessary, but it works. Like, I might even see myself using Fiddlesticks because of 4 stars and a lot of upgrades, but I probably do not want to recommend it. Next, challenge 68. Frenzied Fighting, Katarina and Jinx. I personally would have preferred using Giga Ari. I just decided that I wanna speedrun, and apparently like there were just 2 minutes between me and next player. I would have not been on front page. Wrong button. My recommendations would be Giga Ari, Wax, Veigar can be usable here, and you definitely need to use Berserker's Buckle to prevent Frenzied Fighting from killing you, and Wicked Harvest is really great here. So Wicked Harvest is a rare relic that deals 3 to every other unit, it counters Jinx, and it can kill Katarina. That's about it. So this should be easy. This actually should be easy. Katarina with spawn 3, Jinx with spawn 3, yeah, this is kind of menacing, but it shouldn't be that hard. And the last one is Kaisa level challenge 70, Demacian Might 2, Vicious Enemy, Let's Rock. So no looking back, we are not looking at that. Let's Rock is, we wanna go wide, at least 2 units wide, so our win condition is not obliterated. That's not a kill, that's actually obliteration. And Demacian Might, what's so special about it? So do not underestimate Kaisa, please. With extra mana she will play Lonely Poro into another Poro into probably a Wolf guy, and then she will play Kaisa. She's already evolved. Kaisa might have Titan's X +3/+3, so that's a lot of stuff, and she's scaling. She might get Elusive, she might get Lifesteal, she might get Challenger, Orwell on first attack. Anything can happen, anything can go out of control. It's really hard to recommend stuff against challenge number like 70 and something around that, because, well, usually it is the last challenge, and if you have anything strong, just use that. Like, I always have at least one Jinx, one Aurelion Sol, one Swain, one Speed Blossom Ari, one anything, one something that is just will seal the deal. And if you have just a whole bunch of nothing, then I could recommend, I use Speed Blossom Ari, I could recommend Evelynn, Yasuo to control the mid game. So your idea is you're surviving until 4 mana, you play your champion, and then you scale. Enemy will be scaled, but you need to control the board, you need to show skill, so this is still skill dependent. Yuumi might work if you have your Constellation, if you have Phalanx, and if you have Disciple of Shadows. That should be enough. And I can see myself using Veigar here, because, well, he scales fast enough, and he can prevent, like, this Kaisa from scaling way too much. And also, it's really not that hard to level Veigar, so I use Disciple of Shadows, Corrupted Star Fragment, I steal 1 unit, I take this unit's stats, and that's about it. Did we discuss everything? We have discussed hard challenges, we have discussed all the recommendations, right? So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, just feel free to write any questions about challenges, about champions in comments. When I'm streaming on Twitch too, I try to stream 2 days out of 3. Well, at least every second day, at least 1 hour, as much as I can. A lot of YouTube stuff to do right now. Yeah. Have fun leveling, have fun preparing, and I hope that you will see this guide as soon as, I would say, needed. Not in the end of February when you have no time to level champions. And especially in the end of month when you have already wasted all your beta champions. Full guide will be like within a week, I hope. I have a lot of plans to do for YouTube, so yeah, see you soon.